I am very glad to have you as a state president. Lots of love and kisses. XXXXX. Rachel van Hout. My father sent my letter with a covering note in which he described me as a very sincere little girl, and hoped the president could take a moment to reply. Mr. Fouche wrote back, saying that he was glad to have such a nice little girl as one of my people, and hoped I could visit his swimming pool so that I can meet you and give you my kisses in return. Best regards and kisses. XXXXXXX, Uncle Jim. My father replied to Mr. Fouche, claiming that he had had the letter framed and that it was now hanging on the wall above my bed. My mother explained this lie to me by saying, "Your father likes to remember things as they should have been." There was a photograph of Dad in the albums, taken when he was a young man in Holland and not yet wearing glasses, though he was already balding. He is looking just to his right, away from the camera, sporting a neckerchief, dashing, intense, unyielding, trying to look modest about his feats in the Dutch resistance, which all who saw the photograph would know him to be famous for, would admire him for, things he wished had never needed to be done and took no pleasure in remembering. There was another photo showing Dad, in winter in Cape Town, smiling, sitting on a park bench surrounded by leafless trees and wearing a light coat that seemed to have a fur collar until you looked closer and saw that he was posing with a pet monkey wrapped like a stole around his neck. The monkey's name was Chimp. Dad appeared in many pictures thus adorned by Chimp, whom the rest of us couldn't stand. He was an unhygienic, ubiquitous nuisance as likely to stretch out on the dinner table as to lie quietly beneath it at Dad's feet. The four girls, our parents called us, always emphasizing the four, as if my father, Hans, and my mother, Myra, who always went by My, were the first parents who had ever had to contend with having that many daughters but no sons. We were, in order of descending age, Gloria, Carmen, Bethany, and Rachel. Hans was the lone male among a feminine collective of 5. We gave up trying for a boy, my mother often told people, whether she had just met them or had known them for years. Hans was worried that if we had a 5th girl in a row, he would feel like the last of his species. Girls and women's things were everywhere around the house. Bras, nylons, tampons, knickers, high-heeled shoes, purses, dresses, compacts, tweezers, eyeliner, mascara, lipstick, earrings, necklaces. The 4 girls. In the albums, we were often posed in descending order of age from left to right. The 4 girls riding on an elephant at Cape Town's zoo, facing sideways on a bench just wide enough to hold us all. Me at the far right peering out from beneath the brim of the large straw hat that, from the age of 4, I couldn't bear to be without. The 4 girls in front of the family car, or spanning the driveway, or perched like birds in the branches of a jacaranda tree in Pietermaritzburg, where Bethany was born, the 4 of us acting as flower girls at a wedding, dressed in white, wearing small crucifixes on chains around our necks, though the only thing the Van Houts did religiously was go to lunch on Sunday. We sailed away from South Africa on the Edinburgh Castle in late July of 1969. First class from Cape Town to Southampton, courtesy of a new and obscure university, such was its desperation for qualified faculty. The voyage, which followed the western coast of Africa north to England, took 2 weeks. In the albums, there were many mementos of the journey, including a photograph of my sisters and me taken at a party at which all the children in first class were issued personalized Neptune diplomas, signed by the captain, certifying that we had crossed the equator. Chubby-faced and beaming in the photo, my sisters and I are again wearing white dresses and have wide white hairbands, the 4 of us posing side by side, our Neptune diplomas at